This is what I believe to be the power of social media marketing right here. The ability to have people see your content, engage with it, interact with it, and that data being fed back to you. In this episode, we're going to talk about digital audiences and why they are so different and at the same time so much more powerful than traditional audiences. To give you a comparison about the difference between a digital audience and a traditional one or an analog one. So let's say in the world of the internet, you want to target people. With digital audiences, it is unlimited. Digital audiences is like trying to find a book on a massive library. It's unlimited. Like, you have so many options to read that you can't even pick one. But a comparison to that library full of options is maybe having a dinner party and just having 10 people with you. And that's all you can reach, and it doesn't go beyond there. And when you look to your left, you see a friend. And when you look to your right, maybe you see your wife or your husband. And when you look to the end of the table, you see somebody sitting at the end of that table. And that is it. That's the difference. When it comes to analog, there are limits. When it comes to digital, there are absolutely no limits. Your game and your ability to win the attention game and the marketing game is going to be dominated by one thing only: your ability to master strategies, capture attention, and to do the right thing on these platforms for long enough so you can outdo your competitors, do more than what they're doing so you can get that attention for yourself. So there's something that I like to call digital footprints. This is what I believe to be the power of social media marketing right here. The ability to have people see your content, engage with it, interact with it, and that data being fed back to you so you can do something with that data. What we do here that is so effective is our ability to create content on these platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc., and our ability to follow up those content strategies with additional marketing messages to introduce people that are in our footprint to products and services to help them solve that particular problem or service. Digital footprints. If I put a video over here, and this is a video, and there's a person that goes on Facebook and watches that video, and let's say that person watches that video for 17 seconds exactly, would you say that that is a good thing or maybe not as good because it's only 17 seconds? Well, let me tell you, this is a very good thing because the average attention span in today's environment is somewhere around 5.5 seconds, which has been going down every single year. The reason why it goes down is because there's so much content being put out there. And every day there's more and more and more content that people have more options. Supply and demand drives price. Supply and demand also drives consumption of content. If there is a lot of content out there, people are going to have many options, which means that you are going to get less views unless you know what you're doing and your content is good. So if somebody watches your video for 17 seconds, that's a very valuable piece of information. What happens with that information? That becomes a digital footprint. Now, that data is fed to a bucket. And there's many different buckets. To give you a few of these examples, there's a bucket called 25% video watchers, engaged, through play watchers, 75% video watchers, website visitors. The buckets keep on going. They're all buckets of digital footprints. Whenever somebody does that interaction, they're going to be placed in one of these buckets depending on what they did. So, for example, engage means that they are interacting with your content. They liked it, they commented, they shared it, they did something that made them be engaged. When you look at through play, this is a metric that Instagram and Facebook uses that says that somebody watched 15 seconds of that video. 25% is, let's say that if that video is 1 minute long, and this person, instead of watching 17 seconds, they watched for a whole 15 seconds. 15 seconds out of a minute is 25%. So what happens with that person? 15 seconds is a lot of time. That is a very, very good audience right there. My world of supplement brands that generates hundreds of millions of dollars a year is built around this concept of the digital footprints. Because then I actually create ads, marketing messages, video messages, images, graphics, articles, podcasts, and everything. And I place it in front of people in these buckets right here. And of course, there's a lot of information in between these. For example, the data about video watching expires after a year. If somebody watched the video 365 days ago and they watched 50% of that video, tomorrow, that video that they saw and that connection is going to be separated. And you're not gonna have that data anymore. That's why these footprints right here are, without a doubt, time sensitive. If you don't use it, you lose it. So you gotta be able to retarget or put a message in front of somebody again as soon as possible so you can build that relationship. We don't sell to people that have not been put on this digital footprint path. We sell to people that are exposed to our content in some way, shape, or form, and that is the real power of social media. And I'm going to give you a little bit of information on how that looks inside this world of, particularly in this case, this is Meta. You can go to business.facebook.com, and this is inside one of my accounts. And I'm giving you an example of how these audiences look. People that have watched Frank Suarez, Fruit Play, video views, Instagram in the last 180 days. That is 10,700,000. So if I click on this one, it's gonna give me the audience size estimated on that one. This one is on our other channel called Metabolismo TV. 3.6 million people in a time period between June 23rd and October 18, 2023. So you see, we put content out there, we send the content across all these platforms, we do it thousands of times a month, we give them value, and then we introduce them to our products and to our services. And if you click on this button over here, at the top of it, it says Create Audience. If I go through those steps right there, it would give you the options of what you can create as an audience. For example, people that have visited your website, interacted with your application, customer list, that's another audience, people that have seen your videos, people that have engaged with your Instagram account, people that have shopped on your website or on your Facebook shop or on your Shopify site or anywhere except Amazon. You're not gonna have access to that data directly on Meta. These digital footprints that we're talking about right here, this is why I want 28 million followers like the ones that I have for our brand. This is why we work so hard at building a social media strategy.